And welcome back to the show where the eMasters are currently in dire trouble. Arctic Raptors taking over their own map pick of Ancient. Now we move to Inferno, where honestly I could see a very simple 2-0 coming our way. Zaya, I don't know if you're going to disagree with me or not, honestly. I don't think you are, based on what we were talking about towards the end of that map up, how the 2-0 certainly on the table with this whole situation coming together. And to me, it just feels like it's the most likely outcome.
I mean, it's Arctic Raptors' pick now. Don't get me wrong, eMasters, their pick wasn't, too great. They lost it. They just got stormed. They got ran through. What can you do against that? There's not much. Raptors had such a... they're just so good on Ancient there. And it's their pick now. And what are they going to do on their pick? They're going to use their strats. They're going to be comfortable on their pick. Don't get me wrong, eMasters will be comfortable too. But at the end of the day, this is Raptors' pick. This is their map to go into this game and win it.
Yeah, and I can imagine it being the case that it will be a victory for the Raptors at this particular moment in time. That second half from eMasters really was just a complete falling apart from them. And as a result, I look at that and I think that if that carries on, especially, and I feel it being likely to carry on in this particular map-up, that's probably where it all falls down for the eMasters side. Arctic Raptors, again, they've got the advantage. They've got on their map pick now. They've already taken the opposing side of things, and all those issues just will compound to the eMasters mentality state. So they're going to need almost a miracle, I want to say. Again, it is Inferno, so it is a bit more standardized in terms of its strategies, and a lot of the set pieces you can do, how you take mid is obviously very, meted out over the past few years. But even then, there are small little things that make a team confident enough to pick a map, and I feel like the Arctic Raptors, as a result, are in the driver's seat for this one.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's their pick at the end of the day. Every time you pick a map, you have to be comfortable with it as a team, and you have to know, like, maybe a bit more than the other team. You have to have the actual, the teamwork, I guess, in a sense, the chemistry, everything about it. And they've obviously been working on this map quite a bit. They've played it quite a bit already in LAN. They've played it quite a bit in the ESEA, in their season, in their league. Everything you can ever tie Inferno with, Raptors are there pretty much. And I think that they will storm this one round as well.
And you can even see it in that last map how the teamwork all worked together in terms of the trading game for the Arctic Raptors. When they were on the back foot, they always found some sort of opportunity to trade things back in towards their favour and get some sort of control against the eMasters side. It worked so well in that second half versus eMasters, who really only had guys like Mr. Hoy showing up and doing monstrous things at certain points. And that was one of the things I was the most afraid of, because yes, Mr. Hoy's great, and he did really well individually for eMasters in that last map, but I look back at that Coalesce game and how he dropped like nearly 30 frags over on that overpass, and it still was a loss for the eMasters side. They need to find something more against this team of forces that is the Arctic Raptors here, and I think the question on my mind, and I think everybody else's mind, is what is that thing going to be?
I mean, even before, as you say, the round before the last round on that Ancient, you saw Mr. Hoy going for yet another hero play. He saved them around, he gave them that opportunity to pull it back, but as soon as he's off the charts, as soon as he's gone, that round's pretty much over. You can't always single-handedly rely on one person to clutch it up and to win it out for your team, and that's why it's called a team. It's teamwork. You need to work together, and if that team is holding Mr. Hoy back, then it's looking like a 2-0, and it's looking like that. What might happen?
I mean, I don't know if they're holding him back.
No,
I just
not
think
at all,
that they're not. I think that's probably the wrong wording for it. I think they're definitely just a case that it's just something's not clicking with the team as a whole. Because when you have one player striking like that, it goes to show that, yeah, you've got the right elements in the right places in terms of your star power, but then there's not the support system around it. It's not holding them back. It's just not quite living up to the expectations that the eMasters have set for themselves in this matchup. So down by one map, down by their own pick, it's Arctic Raptors now moving into the T side to see whether things can come together in the right sort of fashion. It's the pistol round going live. The double flashes to smoke in for Mr. Hoy and Moshi, of course. And the utility setting for Zodi on the Arctic Raptor side as they go into the pistol basis. The default setting towards Banana. Got Dexter and Husky there on the defense. Yeah,
it's looking like a very slow Banana crawl right here. You see Ducky quite literally crawling right in front of Synergy now behind him. Dexter posted up with the Joel Perez. People are calling for this gun to be nerfed, and we'll see why in a second. As a matter of fact, we won't see why in a second, because he loses his life straight away to the tap from Synergy, but the double straight back from Husky is great. Taking Synergy and WFN out of the game. A full flash is brilliant there as already players crossed, and oh, there's a brilliant shot. Oh my god, Husky!
Wow.
Torn apart, just tearing apart this Raptors side.
That was a beautiful sequence and a beautiful pistol there for the eMasters and Husky. And that's a bit more like what I was hoping for here. Not just resting on Mr. Hoy in the back lines to get the picks on Arctic Raptors as they cross past the CT cross. Pause taken very early here. I imagine it must be technical in nature for some side of the board here. The eMasters of course, one's in control as of this particular moment. Got a small tech issue that we're just resolving at this moment, so we'll get back into the match as soon as possible. But yeah, look, very solid stuff from Husky. You're very rarely going to see those kind of shots coming in from those USPs, and in such a great sequence like that, able to isolate himself so well. And I like how that B defensive was played to push in towards Banana, get those early couple of shots, fall back to the site, dome 2 more players in, and then just call it a day from there. And for eMasters, again, that is sort of going to be a bit more of the game plan that they're going to have to try and aim for, I think.
I mean, Raptors, it was such a great start for them. You had Dexter posted up close to the dual Berettas, and he wasn't able to take a single one. Synergy finding the pick straight away. Husky, though, absolutely outstanding, just able to take 2 of the players away from the Arctic Raptors side and just make it difficult for them as he repositions down towards quad. And he did make it difficult for them as he hits 2 absolutely disgusting shots, and Raptors now going to have to find their way back into this after the pistol round, and they have a few upgraded pistols here, just 4 Tech 9s and the Deagle, which is on Synergy. We did see him hit quite a few nutty shots in the first game, but it doesn't even matter because Husky swap sights, and Dexter as well there, just mowing them down with that MP9 in hand. It's now all down to Zodi with a Tech 9, who will be tapping away at no head, sadly, but all of the players apart from Husky, who is the only one to fall, just finding a frag of the, sorry, Husky did find the frag, just finding a frag of their own and just making it difficult for Raptors. Dexter with his 3-piece, despite the adversities he suffered in the first round.
2-0 for the eMasters as a result of that. Arctic Raptors, no real buy into this round as well, so this will be a bit more formality kind of round for the T-side line. In the areas in time to stand, and of course on the defensive, so they'll be a little bit careful about what they could bring to the table. I mean, there could be an upgrade P250 or a Deagle, which there are in play for the Arctic Raptors side. So Synergy and H a little bit down, but they're not careful. D1 man will go down for Mr. Point, and Emmy drops to the numbers game. Suddenly, this round is looking not doable, but certainly a little bit better for the Arctic Raptors side. Husky overwhelmed again. Okay, now this round is on.
Yeah, this round is definitely on. 2 MP9s, whereas 1 M4 in the hands of Aatrox. Deagle, and nobody's even aware of Zodi being it. Oh, it doesn't even matter that much because Mashi with his head in the swivel is able to find the frag, and Dexter being dinked as well. 9 HP remaining. That M4 that Husky had dropped is... Oh, it's just absolutely outrageous. That's going to give them the round, I think. Synergy picking up the MP9, edging closer. It is actually used, but it's not anymore. Synergy spams away. He could have stuck that, but Dexter... not able to get the bomb defused and not able to clutch up the round either. That, oh my god, that's such an unwinnable round for Raptors. How have they made that happen? Ah, that's ridiculous. 2-1 on the board now for Raptors. A full buy coming their way, and pretty much a full buy coming the way of eMasters as well. They do see the big green in play here, which obviously isn't too disturbing to see. Yes, that flash, that has blinded Mr. Hoyt so many times.
Try and press this issue once again, in spite of what Arctic Raptors just pulled off in that previous round. Those pistols involved, obviously. Dexter's AWP is what's going to strike first, though. Out towards the long position on a brackets, man down in Ducky. And I'm going to try and strike back out towards the site itself through the balcony of the apartments. Moshi's there for the quick trade over at Pick Control. He'll dive back with the M4. 5-on-3 is with him. We're getting a little bit of long control himself, but ultimately, he'll alert, played a wrap in the backstab. Mr. Hoy's SMG up close, gets dealt with. They stand back on Emmy, who still holds with the 5-7, making it a 3-on-2, the overall favourite to CT side, but the bomb can go down on the B side.
eMasters, I've seen them play this similar strategy against Coalesce in the upper brackets, but whenever Coalesce would re-clear Banana, they would never actually check the logs position, or any other of that for that matter. They'd never really properly re-clear Banana, and they'd always lose a pick, but this is huge from WFN, and it is absolutely demolishing and demoralizing to be absolutely destroyed like that. And it's now Husky down and alone, well, is alone, sorry, 1v2. Zodi, WFN, both in very good positions for this plan, and it looks like that's the round over. Filming already. WFN looks to make his trademark, find the third, but instead it will be Husky who's taking him out, keeping that weapon and running away from that bomb site. That is another round on the board for Arctic Raptors. 2 tied to 2, and an AWP picked up in the hands of Zodi, which will go to WFN.
Arctic Raptors doing wonderful work there, especially with Finn over in that long lurk in the library area where things just worked so unbelievably well for him. He cut the rotations off at the right timings, the perfect placements. eMasters falling apart at the seams when it felt like they were going to bounce back there. That felt like it was going to be such a good round for them with the kills that came forward, but dismantling that crossfire up towards top of Banana, Mr. Hoy and Emmy basically giving away the information as to what they were setting up there, allowing that bomb to go down to the B site. And now in this round already, the main rifle has fallen. Emmy's doing a little bit of damage with his own P250, but one of 3 players left in play outside of the Banana control. I think the T's have recognised this, so they'll hit the A site. Yeah,
the A site should definitely come into play here. They already have the smokes going down. And Aatrox pretty much has a full cleared site. He's going to drop towards his pit area, making sure it's cleared, and cleared it definitely is. And now a bomb will go down. It's only an AK in the hands of Emmy, who is the only person to find the frag this round, and which is actually made him grab the AK, as Ducky looks to shut down Mr. Hoy, because we know how dangerous he can be. Maybe not so much without a proper weapon. Moshi almost went straight into the spam there, almost doing it yet again, and Emmy is just going to save as Moshi maybe looks to find maybe an exit frag and pick up a gun of his own, but what are the chances that's actually going to happen? Almost 0 to none, because they don't really want to get too aggressive here. Raptors, their winning situation is good, but then again, they don't want to make sure they lose the AKs to the hands of pistols, which is very reasonable. And the bomb will be detonated in just a split second as I'm sure nobody's saving. Moshi swinging out and losing his life, as you expect him to with the USP. That is another round on the board for Raptors, who do take the lead in their pick.
Advantage T-side once again. It was on the T-side where they took overall control over on that first map, and we'll see whether or not that'll be the case right here on this one. eMasters already pushed on the back foot and maybe on to receive a little bit more punishment over the course of this round and the next. Orp sooner to whiff, and of course the AK is also set up for the T-side line. Defaults go look down just the way aggressive ahead of the Molotov. He will get picked up, but Emmy will find the trade back and also burn himself to 21 HP. It's a health advantage in the 4-on-4 for Arctic.
Yeah, you can see there, Mr. Hoy playing the anti-flash. He's been blind every time he tries to do that because of that flash that he's played by Arctic Raptors right at the start of the round. It perfectly flashes him, and then he's kind of learned, you know, I'm going to play anti-flash, but that didn't help him whatsoever. He played the anti-flash, got absolutely domed in the head by Zodi. What can you do with that in that situation? You just really can't regain his banana control with the way Arctic Raptors are playing, and I think they've actually made that so strong and strong. WFN is with that AWP in hand. He's just taking away another player for eMasters. It's not looking great for them. Not looking great at all, as Emmy still struck down at 21 HP from the Molotov, and Aatrox is there, spotting out Dexter onto that long position. He's going to get a flank going in for CT. All 3 players on this A site, and all 4 players now going towards his B site, and it looks to be a save. Once again, for eMasters, because their economy is so bad, they're practically bankrupt. If Raptors wanted to, they could go for the hunt here.
I mean, it's a possibility. The concern is that they're also thinking about their own economy state, because whilst it's pretty high on Whiffen and Zoda, you've got to be concerned about the idea that Ducky Synergy, Aatrox is still about that $2,000 float, and even though it's still a good money line for the next round, if you want to really bolster the economy state, you keep all 4 players alive, you build upon those $2,000 with the extra money bonus you'll get here in this round, and you'll work off the back of that when the next buy only requires 1 bought-up rifle. If you lost anybody else in this exchange, it becomes a bit more difficult. So that's where I think Arctic Raptors are thinking in this one, and they'll play it smart, keep their guns in. Of course, they will face resistance in the next round from the eMasters with the buy-up that will be received around these 3 rifles. But it'll be 4-2 to the T-side board. They're looking good.
Looking extremely good, looking strong. As you said before as well, they're taking stride in this T side. Obviously, most maps being CT side, and Inferno definitely one of them, sorry. And they're dismantling eMasters at the moment. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's only 4-2, it's only early days of this Inferno map, but with the way they played on Ancient, which wasn't even their pick, they still dismantled them, and this is their pick. What do you think they can do in this half? What do you think they can do in this game in general? Synergy taking a little bit of damage there, jumping in towards Boiler, looking like a very fast A-long push here, and Husky's being forced out of position now, but Husky's getting 1. Nope, he's going to be spraying and just hoping to get a pick there as Ducky finds a second, and they now know where Dexter is, a sole survivor of this site, as Ducky looks to maybe clear the angle, and clear the angle he will. Dexter not able to grab 1 and make it at least even. It's a 3 versus 2 once again. Emmy and Mr. Hoy maybe going for a save.
Yeah, Inferno is notoriously difficult to retake on, whether it be A site or B. I mean, back in the old version of Inferno, before the major revamp, it was obviously a saying, is like when you've downed a player on the B site, just save. No matter what the situation is, just don't even bother because it's so difficult to retake. Now it's a bit more the A site is the difficult map, is the difficult site on Inferno to retake for. So for eMasters, again, overwhelmed. Emmy and Mr. Hoy just got towards Speedway before they realised, yeah, this ain't worth it. Save our guns, and concede 5 back to the Arctic Raptors. It unfortunately is seeming a little bit more like how things were working out at the tail end of that Ancient here, when they constantly had to go for save calls because they were just constantly pushed into the most disadvantageous positions in the world. And it's going to really compound again. Arctic now up by 3 rounds. It's still not unrecoverable for eMasters just yet, but it will start getting there pretty soon.
A lot of money as well in the hands of Ducky and WFN. That's going to be a lot to take away for eMasters. Their money isn't looking too great. They've saved most of these rounds, which is great for them because they need the rifles. They need as much firepower as they can physically get. And Aatrox has been so strong on this mid low. Don't get me wrong, maybe not getting the most amount of kills, but getting a lot of space and a lot of value in what he does. Getting so much information, and now instead of getting this information alone, he's with half of his team. As a matter of fact, made that 4 of his teammates, included Aatrox, going to be the first one to swing out. Oh my god, Dexter with the AWP posted up. Not able to find another one just yet as his teammate is taken down, which will be Husky. They were practically side by side. Husky ready for the right hand side. Dexter not so ready for the left hand side, and actually will let his teammate fall. But despite all of that, Ducky left with 1 HP. Not going to be a difficult player to take down, to say the least. And the rest of the Raptors side just looking to go towards his B site, which could be absolutely perfect for them, as Emmy is the one rotating. Mr. Hoy left alone once again on this B site, as the Raptors players just creep and edge their way forwards very slowly to find this execute.
Well, if there's a time for Mr. Hoy to go for a hero play, it would be right about now, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. And he's made quite a few of those in this event, and a lot of them being successful. However, this one's going to be very almost undoable as he's practically mollied in. It's a 1 HP player and he's mollied in, mollied out. Where can you go? Absolutely nowhere. Synergy, as a matter of fact, putting him out of his misery there.
I mean, he did got a lot of damage towards Synergy, so that means in this 3-on-3, it's a slight advantage for eMasters on the basis of the HP. Synergy's got to fall back into dark, hide in the corner and hold position as the last resort defensive element here in this post plant. eMasters 2 kits in for Emmy and Dexter trying to bait in with him, but that AWP strikes back. Moshi goes forward the same. Dexter does catch him for the smoke, which of course is a bit of information calling there with a little bit of luck to pre-fire the angle, but ultimately does not lead to a round itself for the eMasters. Damage done to Arctic Raptors is the best that they can do here for eMasters. It'll be 6 on the board on the T side, and if my memory serves me correctly as well, it's been 6 in a row for Arctic, right?
Yeah, it has been. I mean, eMasters taken a very big stride in the pistol round. They absolutely almost flawlessly decimated Arctic Raptors' attack with the dual Berettas post up and along, not getting as much value. But Husky, oh my god, popping off in that first round. The second round, of course, you expect Raptors to lose that one, but the third round, was practically in it no way at all for Arctic Raptors. Only Glocks in their hand, and they still made it right. And after that point, they've just turned the tables and made it 6 on the board for them, 6. And now it's round 9, and whoever gets this will pretty much almost have the half in their favour, win the half out. And the money situation isn't great for eMasters on the opposite side of the map. However, Arctic Raptors looking to be pretty rich at the moment, which you do expect after winning 6 rounds in a row and losing maybe 1 or 2 players, maybe a 3. And that's pretty much it. They haven't really felt too much of a detrimental loss. They haven't really felt too much of a detrimental economy. And as a result of it, you can see what's going on. You can see how they're winning the round. You can see how they're winning the game at the moment. And most of their rounds, they've been perfect calls, may I point out. Like, as soon as they get that pick in the apartments, they fall back to Banana. Mr. Hoy is left alone, mollied out. Everything there to them perfectly. You can see here, the aggression does not work out for Mr. Hoy at the least. Zodi shutting down Mr. Hoy and Emmy, who both look to get aggressive. It's that flashbang, I'm telling you now, that flashbang that gets thrown all the way.
They know what Husky's doing.
Talking about the nades there. Another great flashbang too. But yeah, that flashbang just stops Mr. Hoy in his tracks, and I guess he kind of expected it, but then as he turned around to find the Zodi's head, mid-air by the way, he still turns back into the flash and eventually loses life, and Emmy also being full blind. 2 of them lose their life, and man advantage the way of Arctic Raptors. It is a round that potentially wasn't winnable for eMasters anyway due to the weapons advantage that Arctic Raptors have at the moment. It definitely will be a B push here. You can tell the utility all going out. Aatrox finding one of his own as he starts to lurk into 2. Oh my god, what? Dexter just completely single-handedly made this round winnable.
Suddenly, this is indeed very winnable for eMasters, because for a moment that bomb was left in no man's land. One T-side player had to go back for a Ducky on the rotation. That kill from Aatrox out towards the apartments has definitely opened things up for a rotate back into the A play, get that bomb down safely, because no one is here from the eMasters. And I think Arctic Raptors are recognizing this is their best opportunity to keep the streak going, but for eMasters, they've got to look at Dexter and understand that, listen, that double kill, that collateral has opened up a massive opportunity for them to shut this whole streak down, bring something back here. Got to get into this 2-on-2, though.
Really making use of the AWP nerf there, using only the one bullet just to get 2 kills. And now it is a 2v2. Aatrox and Ducky, definitely very good players for Arctic Raptors. Dexter maybe looking to get his 4th, and Husky maybe also looking to get his 3rd of the round. However, this is where it all gets tied down. They put everything into this. They have no money by the end of this, and it will be Aatrox now. Brilliant mid-lurk so far, but it's Dexter who will get the 4th and
time?
will.
There's time.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's definitely time.
I was a little bit concerned there because it took a little bit of time. It actually was a lot closer than what I thought it was actually going to be.
Yeah.
But Dexter with a quadra, and what a round that is for the eMasters side as well. Dexter again being the hero of the hour for the eMasters. That AWP collateral turned everything away from their favour. Because remember, that was like a 4 versus 2?
Yeah.
It was a 5 versus 2. Husky got a Molotov kill, then the collateral came back, and suddenly it all turned to the favour of the eMasters side. So, again, their key strength has always been individual prowess, individual hero moments, but they need a few more of those, preferably a bit more consistently across those individuals and all. Once again, Mr. Hoy tagged up in his banana exchange, so he won't have a whole lot of breathing room in terms of impact out here. Synergy doesn't quite get the kill, though. Mr. Hoy alive at 1 point of health.
1 point of health, and that is actually now going to swap to the MP9, which in my opinion definitely the better strat there. You don't really want to be walking around with a rifle and you're 1 HP to practice the anything. Oh my god, Aatrox is crazy! Which is pushing through a smoke, no flashes, nothing at all to help him out, and does the same thing for long. Doesn't work out just as well for him as Dexter is posted up in that position with the AWP in hand. Zodi getting the lurk ready. I'm assuming that this is going to be a B hit. That is beautiful, absolutely perfect. No mistakes whatsoever there. Aatrox there just drawing sound, making sure that they can get this control and maybe trying the Cuba rotation. The rotations were about to come into play there. Or maybe the regain could control a banana, but it's just such a good fake from Aatrox. He's been so deadly in that mid position, getting so much information and just bringing out so much, and he actually has given Raptors another round on the boards, and that will be that. That is 7, almost going into this first half as victorious for the second half. That is crazy. They win out on eMasters' pick. This is their pick, and they are, well, to say the least, demolishing this eMasters defense. The way they're playing, it's practically perfect, almost no flaws. A couple of, well, the last round was just a lucky shot, really, with Dexter, that 1 bullet, finding 2 frags, and now, without that lucky shot, it's just up to raw aim, raw play, and the Raptors are just taking it in their stride and making it pinpoint perfect. 7-3 on the board, 4 rounds ahead of eMasters, and another pause coming out here.
Yeah, time to take a moment here for eMasters again to reassess their position, because they've had a couple of great opportunities to really springboard this match into their favour, but they just haven't been working out for them. And the end result, of course, is this 4-round deficit. Arctic Raptors, as you mentioned, coming closer to closing the half with an advantage from winning the half. They are 1 round away from doing so. The CTs, I mean, the money's not amazing for them. They've had to take this tack in part to figure out whether they're going to force buy here, and it looks like they're not going to. The 5-7 in for Moshi and Emmy with the Kevlar bolstered. Dexter with the AWP and Huskies M4, both weapons saved from the previous rounds. Firepower just isn't there for them. I mean, they've done okay with the downgrade weapons, but how many of these rounds have been won is the key concern for the eMasters. Arctic quick into the default. It's a bit of a heavy-handed play towards the B side for the eMasters defensive, and once again it will be a quick prod in from Aatrox out towards that long control. Might bracket in these CT forces quickly. Huskies no idea that Aatrox is in, and neither does Moshi, who gets his 2 kills in, going down alongside Emmy. The trades are very good for the Arctic Raptors. Mr. Hoy and Dexter, 2 versus 3. Plant down for the T side, and for Dexter it's best to hold on to the AWP. Mr. Hoy will either be going hero or going home.
I think picking up that AK is actually going to allow him to just maybe save the weapon and just get out of there, because their economy, as you've mentioned, as we've mentioned so many times already, because it's one of those points in CS that you need to talk about. If the economy isn't great, you're not going to win around, realistically. Raptors did prove us wrong down the third, but it's just one of those, you can't compete against it. The way they're playing, Raptors are almost reading everything perfectly. They had the 5-man towards B to drop the smokes down, stop the mollies and extinguish them, and look at it now. It's turned the tide, and it's Dexter again saving the up. You need that weapon. That weapon's so strong, one of the most expensive. Raptors close out this half definitely by winning it 8-3. This is crazy. This is an absolutely brilliant match we have so far. I mean, whoever wins this will go into the next round, which will be pretty much the lower bracket final against Vipero. And that's going to be a difficult game for either side here, eMasters or Raptors, to win. So nevertheless, though, as we've seen already, yes, I can surprise you.
Well, right now, it's certainly not looking like the eMasters are going to make their spot in that matchup here. They have not only considered their own map pick, but they're also in the position where it's like, I mean, is there a possibility to try and take Inferno? It doesn't look like it. Down 5 rounds on CT side. Again, you look at these half advantages taken on the T side basis, and you just think to yourself, what can eMasters do from this position? Will this be enough at this moment? All these rounds have been enough to gain control going into the second half to take a resurgence. Mr. Hoy again is going to try and force out more advantages. It's only his 4th kill in this game right there against Synergy. And that stat is kind of worrying for a guy who was so impactful over on Ancients.
Yeah, he was potentially one of the most impactful players, like, overall for eMasters. He's been absolutely fantastic so far. He's just has maybe had a bit of a dry run with it as of yet, but there you go. Zodi getting a pick onto Emmy, and Husky also finding Aatrox there too. But look at the position that Zodi actually has. Oh my god, the way they play this Arctic Raptors, it's full of trickery. And they've already gone up towards this B site, and the bomb will go down. Mr. Hoy.
He has no idea.
Yeah, and no XP either. It's a team flash right there, but it doesn't matter because nobody's really re-aggressing it. But look at this aggression into church, or ruins as some people call it. And it's Husky to try and fight off this 1v3. Finding, oh my god, finding one and the second. It's left WFN alone with the big green in his hand, and he's just going to have to back off ever so slightly. Not able to connect the first shot. The second shot does not go astray. This time, however, the third shot, not able to really connect it, being forced out by the Molotov as well. It did miss, bear in mind, but it was still a 2-on-1. And Raptors losing their second round since the third round, which has happened. Wow, they've been demolishing. They're insane. The way they play this practically perfectly, and yeah, as you've mentioned, eMasters not looking too strong as of now.
Well, they've got one back at least, so they're starting to build that strength in. But Arctic, of course, will be on the rebuy. The AKs are back in for round 13, thanks to the bomb plant bonus and the savings they've already gotten from gaining as many rounds in a row as they did. Damage will be done to Whiffin and Synergy to start things off. Husky's posted out to the apartments, expecting a bit of aggression here from Aatrox, which he might just get. But even he wants to think about considering the fall back. It's a very passive default again from Arctic Raptors. A lot of their emphasis really is over to that B half of the map. The banana take from 3 individuals that might actually meet Mr. Hoy and Emmy in particular. And Whiffin actually will get the opening start against Mr. Hoy. So that is a opening frag for the Arctic Raptors side that will leave Emmy all alone. Husky and Dexter are going to get a couple of trades though. So suddenly it's a 4-on-3 for the CT side.
Yeah, I mean, this B push is definitely coming out. You're going to have to grab the bomb. It is man advantage towards eMasters, and Emmy's in a very good position here, but definitely, oh, that's annihilation right there. Zodi just swinging out, just taking the head straight off of Emmy, and it's Dexter with the AWP. It will be the closest eMaster player. Try and find something, the boost, it's so good, it's perfect, and Moshi.
Wow.
Oh, he actually checked for another player there.
They kind of fed him that 1v3, well, it wasn't 1v3, but it might as well have been a 1v3. He's the man that just got all those picks in the bomb site retake. And again, Arctic Raptors just peeked in towards him, especially that second player and that third player. eMasters back in with a 5th, maybe punishing a few of these mistakes being made by the Arctic side. Of course, they got a bomb plant in that round, so there will be another rebuy for the T side. But finally, eMasters are closing the gap here. Only 3 to the good right now for Arctic. 2 more rounds to go in the half, so 8-7's not impossible.
Nah, it definitely isn't impossible, especially with the way eMasters have definitely reshaped the way they play. WFN taking quite a lot of hit damage there as well. Oh, even more damage, and they actually burns!
Whiffen! Oh, that's tragic!
Oh, but the kill straight away, traded out a Synergy. Finds the pick from Mr. Ho's aggression, which we've seen so many times. He goes for these hero plays. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. It happens to the best of us. Oh my god! Nobody's aware. Aatrox, and oh, it's just been absolute shambles right there. They've just taken everything in their stride, and Husky's somehow, in the matter of what, 5 seconds, the sole player.
You say 5 seconds, that seemed like 2.
Yeah.
Like, it was instant. All those kills just done like that, all over. Good night, eMasters in round 14. This is a round for Arctic easily. There's nothing to contest that A site. Huskies packed up in the Shire. Would need an ace clutch to try and make this happen. 4 players to find in it, and I mean, he knows as well as anybody else that there's just absolutely no chance here. It's going to be 9 for Arctic. And eMasters, when they found that little resurgence, just get backhanded right back into reality, it feels like.
I mean, very unfortunate there. When WFN passed away, I mean, what, two mollies right in his head, and then he gets smoked off, and he runs right back for another smoke, and there's Molotov right outside there, but Husky is ready to leave his mark at the end of this round. They are going to hunt him down, but Aatrox still another man to be found dead, and it is actually Ducky to shut him down, making sure he doesn't get more than 3. Which is still very good damage considering Synergy doesn't have too much money in the grand scheme of things, and Zodi also not too much money either. Yeah,
I mean, they've got a lot of money on other players, though. I mean, being round 15, they're going to have to buy anyway, so they'll drop those weapons. So it's great damage in an isolated round, but in terms of it being the last of the half, it doesn't mean much here for the Arctic Raptors side. So I
think it means more for Husky. Not being able to save that AK with the one-tap potential. I think that's definitely more detrimental to them. That's probably one of the definitely the better gun than CS. And WFN just going to be trying to take this pick, and it's not going to work out for him as Dexter's already there, posted up, ready for the pick, ready for the swing, and the swing comes in, and WFN loses life. Aatrox is really close towards the slug on this time. Bosch is aware of it, but not aware of the other players that may be there. Husky hurting Arctic Raptors, and Dexter posted up towards his long position. Zodi going to want to re-smoke and get a flash down too to make sure he can jump out. Bait out the shot from the orb. The shot from the orb is faked out. He now has a sight. Planting the bomb. No more utility left over. And it's now a 1v3 for Zodi to try and bring Arctic Raptors to even more of a winnable game. And already there's one good start, but the trades are going to come in eventually. There's 3 players stacked up towards shore. You don't really expect to kill all of them, and of course, you don't. 9-6. That's not too bad of a half for eMasters, considering the fact that they lost 6 rounds in a row. Bouncing right back into it, making a bit of a resurgence, a bit of more of an upcoming, and now it's back into the CT half, which is the favoured side for Raptors, for any team really, and well, it's all down to that. Whoever wins this will, of course, go on to play the next game tomorrow at 9 in the morning against Vipero. The way things stand,
Arctic would love to wrap it up as early as possible.
Yeah, 100%.
So, see how much eMasters can stall it out if they can take it to a 3rd map. But 9-6 on the T side, Arctic are really in control into the pistol round. This could be make or break for eMasters here. Bomb plant bonuses will be okay, but really they want the round win itself. They can't afford to lose much in this case. And make their way in to the mid-control. Super, super passive from Arctic Raptors.
Yeah, look at that, though. There's 3 players stacked up onto this A site. You have, it's just impossible to really get past that. Like, if you look at the way they're set up at the moment, how do you get past that? Everyone's pretty stacked up ready, but never mind. Emmy's just completely taken my words out. Just, you know what I mean? It's gone. Emmy's found one. Mr. Hoy finding another, and it's left 2. Ducky and Synergy. I didn't even notice that Aatrox had died, but yeah, he died towards the stairs there, and it's Synergy with the dual berets. We saw Dexter in a similar position on the long, and Ducky as well with the dual berets too, trying to take these close-up fights rather than the long-range ones, which may be a bit more difficult due to how much bigger this side of the map is. And slowly walking up, Synergy is able to find one. You see as well that Dexter's all the way back into his spawn. Which means if somehow they managed to, they obviously have no time, but if they somehow manage to get onto that site and defuse it, Dex would be nowhere to be found. And Synergy, Ducky will both save their dual berettas and their armor, which is always a good place to be. But however, despite all of this, Raptors lost the pistol round in the first half and lost the second round and just came back on the 3rd. Maybe they're thinking they could do the same thing here. They don't really mind it too much. You know, it's still CT side. You still have a lot to play for. And they just want to play it passively, you know, they have the advantage, still 2 rounds to go before eMasters finally catch up to them. And it's not too bad for Raptors. They do have quite a lot in this. They do, and they can just make this as easy as they want to, really.
It's surprising to see rifles out on the second round break for the CT side in this one, but it goes to show how valuable actually saving some of these pistols can actually be. You don't have to buy the Kevlar synergy, got a little bit of kill bonus, and also for Arctic, it's going to be encouraging to see that much coming through in terms of a little bit extra firepower. The Scout also in from within 3 pistols, 2 of which are Deagles. I think the other one is a 5.7 on Zodi. And the T-side contact about the face synergy first and foremost out into this banana position. 4 players at the ready. Arctic Raptors. Going to have to rely heavily on these opening duels here in this position because rotations will be rather slow. But Mr. Hoy does get caught synergy with that pick back. Will fall away from the first boost and eMasters rotate out of there.
Yeah, they don't want anything to do with that. They found out Synergy has a rifle. Realistically, who else could have a rifle for that side? Not very many people. And WFN is going to be posted up here with that Scout and that SSG108, which, of course, we don't really refer to it by that much. But they're going to re-hit this B-bomb site, actually, because they do want to take the battle to the rifle, knowing that the retake won't be too great. Synergy has caught the head of Moshi, and Moshi will fall. Husky next to go. Not Husky next to go, sorry, I meant Zodi next to go, and Zodi is definitely the next to go as Dexter finds the frag with that AK. And now, not too great retake weapons. WFM with the Scout in hand, 2 Deagles as well for Ducky, and Aatrox going to have to try and find the head of some of the players here.
Oh,
well,
that's it.
wow, there's the head of one player. It's now a 2 versus 3. Relatively winnable. I mean, no kits at the end of the day. They're going to have to go a bit faster than they may have liked to, which means that eMasters can just bide their time out. Aatrox is going to take first contact. WFN there for a second. Ducky on top of Orange now as they're getting ready to swing it one by one, but Ducky found the kill. Is there time?
10 seconds to it. No, there's not.
Not enough time.
He's out of there.
He needs the AK. Wow, good resets there, by Arctic Raptors. The bomb plan has come in and will give them a bit of extra money. However, it's not that much in the grand scheme of things, but I'm sure they'll be fine because of the amount of money they have for this next round.
Arctic might force buy here, honestly.
Yeah, they should.
You have destroyed the economy of the eMasters, and if you can buy back into this, of course, they've got no loss bonus, so you've got the opportunity with the AK also to bolster up to really decimate them, but they're going to opt against it here. I don't agree with that call at all. Go in with that invest, guys. You still have a little bit of money basis to play from. If you win this round, eMasters, they might end up completely capitulating and they'll lose out on all their cash. Suddenly, you're looking at the 12-8. CT side risks of somebody that can't flow through what easy. Despite that, Ducky will still engage with the AK. Get the first. Husky and Mr. Hoy to trade.
Yeah, already a man down for Arctic Raptors. The AK as well, the only rifle they had in that round after saving from a brilliant round, a very good eco from them. And now Emmy is going to clear the smoke. WFN has been spotted, tries to back away very slowly into the smoke. It's not going to work out as Emmy just demolishes him with that Mac 10. A weapon you'd expect to win out this fight. However, is this a long push or is this the wrong call? Because there are 2 players stacked up. We saw Synergy with the Deagle last round. He did play it very well. And as of now, it just seems like they're going to filter their way all the way through long. B-site completely free for them, and they have nothing to worry about here. No retake, I'm assuming, going to be coming in. They do have maybe Zodi trying to maybe get an exit frag or something, or maybe he'll pick up the AK and Synergy will go in with the Deagle, but, you know, still a lot to play for here. I mean, they could get a few exits, maybe they don't. Either way, it's going to be 9-9 on the board for both teams. I definitely, there's no way they try and retake this, right? No way.
Nah, I mean, maybe they do. It's an eco round, so in this sort of case, you're not losing anything for the Arctic Raptors. Maybe you post that Deagle synergy up and try and hold on to an exit frag. Zodi is going to go into the apartments and try and grab that AK if possible. Indeed, they do find it. So actually, now that they've recovered that weapon, plus the weapon off of Moshi, then it might be better to hold on to just those 2 guns and go for the safe call here for Arctic. It would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think so too.
That seems to be the call. Yeah, they're going to back off the pit. Here's a hunt coming in from eMasters. Arctic got to be wary of that, but again, the bottom line is the scoreline. It will be 9 apiece to the T side.
They don't want to overstay their welcome though here, eMasters. They don't really want to push in too much because once again, their economy isn't too great. They lose these rifles and they lose quite a bit. It's quite a hefty toll in the economy there. And yep, as you can see, Emmy just maybe trying to filter through a little bit. He is the one with the Mac 10, so it doesn't really matter too much. If he was to lose that weapon, he isn't going to lose it though, and I think maybe he plays a bit of a bonus here, keeps the weapon he has rather than buying up an AK, and that is going to be what's happening. And Arctic Raptors now able to fully invest and go for this round, 9 apiece, as you said. And this is all to play for now. It's pretty much 50-50. Another timeout will commence, and it's all down to Arctic Raptors to see how they can shut down this eMasters offense. At the moment, not too well. apart from maybe that one round where they were able to get a very good retake in with the hands of Ducky, saving that AK as well and finding one pick that round prior. Not too much inside of that though, apart from the 2 weapons that have been saved, which is always good. You always want to save a couple of guns, especially on the Nika. It's always better too.
One of those being the AK, of course, which only means that you've got a little bit extra firepower to play with as well for the CT side. So there is opportunity to bound for Arctic now that they get to the full guns. They're trying to cut the eMasters down from their high horse. The pedestal established by the pistol and the conversions, of course, a 9-6 score at the turn of the half, turning into 9 apiece thanks to that pistol into the conversions, of course. Nade sent Atrox in with the M4 leaning up. Moshi's found his way up towards the bedroom, but he's not required. Dexter has got that kill already, and it's just going to be a quicker burst in from the apartments to catch Whiffen off guard. The AWP, so tunnel vision, takes his first shot, going to fall back in the end, actually, onto the bomb site. Is he aware of the apartments? I think he is.
Yeah, surely. Oh my, WFN caught out with a big green hand. They're not able to get the shot. Ducky, full blind, you can't really fight that. That's such a brilliant push there for eMasters, and it's just going to force Arctic Raptors to once again save another round, I'm pretty sure. There's no way they should go for this. They still have the AK in the hands of Zodi, and he wouldn't want to lose that, would he?
It's safe. It's got to be a save. Again, 2v5, most difficult retake in the game. On the A side of Inferno, just hold on to these guns. It's the best call for them. Maybe if they had only a single man disadvantage and felt a little bit lucky they could try their hand at it, but eMasters overwhelming on these site takes, and Arctic Raptors are struggling to deal with it now of their own right. It's a very similar story to how things were working out in the first half, just vice versa applying. T-side basis extremely good so far. An undefeated T-half from eMasters. Arctic. These 2 guns do buy options for them. They can potentially drop 2 weapons and go ahead and rebuy. This is, it won't get an AWP, I don't think, but actually, no, they are going to drop the AWP for Synergy. That's a bit of a risk, but double orbs in play. Yeah,
I mean, that's crazy to think about. Double AWP. After losing that round, I thought that would take a bit of a heftier toll on their economy.
I mean, it's a curveball. Yeah. If eMasters aren't expecting this, then they could run into one AWP, then fast rush back into the other AWP, and then suddenly there's 2 picks easy. Mr. Hoy, first man in, into the hands of Whiffen. He goes down. Zodi forced to trade, doubles up in fact. Emmy caught, tagged up. Husky will trade back a Trox elsewhere, so it's a 3-on-3. And those AWPs might not have had the impact, but Zodi certainly has done his 2 kills, finding an opportunity for Arctic now.
Yeah, and look at the rotations here. They're pretty much called it. They should know what's like to go to here, Raptors. They played pretty much a very similar game, and the smoke will go down now as well, which will block the line of sight of Synergy, but he's gone, nope, never mind, I'm going to rush straight through that, but I reckon they'll re-hit this here. I think they'll maybe go back to long. Synergy could be aware of it, though. He does have an AK now, which is a lot more powerful than the MP9 or the Galil that he was stuck with for quite a few of those rounds.
The problem is the heavy advantage, though, and that makes Emmy an easy kill for him into the A side. The look to go, Ducky's SMG. High HP, but low stopping power of this weapon. He'll take a fight at long range as well, which ain't going to help things. Nades out, damage done, 75 HP. Dead to the hands of Husky. Zodi's got to save. And it will be 11 for eMasters. 5 in a row for the T-side, and it's starting to look a very similar affair to how Arctic Raptors' T-side went down.
Yeah, that double orb did not work out from the all. That gamble did not get played as well as I expected it to, because obviously the full rush there, it didn't really help them out. Zodi was able to get a couple of trades going there too. However, you can't leave it all in the hands of Zodi in that situation. WFN, he's got to hit that shot there right up top of Banana, and that kind of just left a lot of room to play with as soon as that was taken down. And it did leave a lot of room to play with, and you can see it's lost in the round, and now it's 11-9. Not much money, an AWP going into it, but in the hands of WFN, would he even want to take that AWP? He's probably going to, but he hasn't really been hitting his shots so far this map, and he's just got to get that flow going. And now, it's all to play for here. It's practically 50-50. Both T-sides have had an extremely good half. Now you had the 6-round win from eMasters, and it's practically been the same thing here. It's going into the 6th round of the second half. Will they get the same advantage that Arctic Raptors were able to find in their first? It's another pause here as we look to figure out, as Raptors look to figure out what they're doing wrong and how they could change it. You could already see Zodi and Ducky Mag 7'd both. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you don't have a lot of cash. You don't really want to invest in around this AWP just yet. Might settle within to try and hold on to the weapon in the later few rounds, but the Mag 7s in particular will just be posted in a couple of key areas where you can put it here on this map, and one of which is at the half wall over towards the B banana position, which is where Zoe looks to post himself up alongside Synergy's Deagle. First contact, they actually both are going to get forced back by the utility of the T-side before they can actually get there, so a bit more awkward. Zodi might look for a flash and a HE back in to try and take some contact, but just trading blows back and forth with the HP valve shipping away. It does force eMasters to fall back into mid.
Yeah, the utility drop there as well. Oh, this could be bad. WFN posted up inside of Boiler, holding this bedroom position. Nobody may be jumping through there, apart from Husky, who's kind of contemplating it. Also, some information. Aatrox left the smoke in his hands, and Moshi picks him off. WFN willing to get one pick, maybe a second here as he looks to swivel his way out of it. No, oh my god, the no-scope is perfect. They now have the bomb. What is this?
That's a massive sequence from the AWP and a Mag 7. Ducky's now got an AK to play with. A 4-on-2. Arctic Raptors could still steal this. Zodi does not know he's being flanked. That bomb does get picked up by Dexter, but Ducky is still playing around this bracket position. Will he see the AWPer? The smoke's about to clear. The man's been seen. He's been tagged, and now he's dead. Emmy with it all to do. Back out of library. A 1-on-4 situation faced by Ducky. The man goes down, so the position revealed now for the eMasters. But 3 more to get, and they're just hogging the bomb with 30 seconds to go.
I mean, why wouldn't you hug the bomb in this situation? You've literally just come into the round with 2 Mag 7 to dig up. And that up, oh, that's doing some crazy damage there, getting the 3 kills that round. That no-scope was absolutely so clean. The first pick as well, on towards Husky, and he's just basically winning the round there. I was saying earlier, he had to pick up the pace a little bit, hit his shots a little bit more, and hit his shots he did. He proved me wrong completely. Arctic Raptors finding it and not giving eMasters the same type of success on their T side with only 5 rounds won in a row, whereas Raptors got 6. And now they've kind of fixed it up a little bit.
I think the Incendiary just disappeared through the floor there on the CT side. Yeah, when they dropped the utility back over to the thing, it's barely been noticed, but. Look, that might actually harm Arctic Raptors, because imagine you get to stop a rush, right? Imagine they're coming in and they're putting the utility down. You want to put the Incendiary back at the main entrance of Banana. Exactly. Suddenly, you haven't got one. And that might become a bit of a concern. Fortunately, Synergy does have one on his pouch anyway.
That's weird.
Meanwhile, the utility comes in towards the A side to try to prod out information. Arctic just going to get ahead of the game. Ducky's going to burn 20 points of health. Read.
That is such a good read. Like that Molotov there, just forcing Ducky out of that position. Now left at 20 HP. Jesus. We were talking about mollies earlier and how important they are. Look at how important that one was. And it's Synergy. Full belt of util. It's only going to use a smoke so far. As that's the only one. Needs to use Zodian. Aatrox both hunting down this mid player. A bit of revenge for their teammate Ducky. And now the BXQ will start up. The Molotov is going to be thrown. It's going to be extinguished straight away. Another Molotov out towards Synergy. He's got another smoke in hand too. And Moshi going out first with the bomb in hand. That's a brilliant spray down on Synergy. Looks to find it second, and find it he will. It's now down to Mr. Hoy and Emmy. Emmy left on 5 HP. Mr. Hoy on 48. It's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. That is almost a flawless round. Aatrox losing his life. But other than that, brilliant for Arctic Raptors. The bank has been busted for Moshi and Mr. Hoy. Not too much money anymore. And they're starting to feel the effects of winning 5 rounds in a row. They're starting to feel the fact that there's no loss bonus. They'll be buying up Tech 9s, 1 rifle in the hands of Emmy, 3 Tech 9s, and a P250 in the hands of Moshi, which could do quite a bit of damage. Not too much util even. They might just go for something fast here to catch Arctic Raptors off guard. But it doesn't seem that way, as they've started extremely slowly with a bit of util already used. They've got 1 smoke and 2 flashes on their belts, and they might just go straight into the line of fire for WFN. Jumping through, WFN does find one, and that is on Dexter. As the rest of the players look to seek towards short, but it's Aatrox with the M4A4. Will be mowing them down very shortly, and Ducky there as well. The bomb has been dropped. It's left to an impossible situation. And Husky the last of full, and the last player to lose their life. It's going to give another round to Arctic Raptors, who finally have the advantage once again in their map pick.
Lead regained for the Arctic Raptors at that. And eMasters, well, now they're the ones that look a little bit more in trouble than the Arctic side did at the start of the half. It was a stellar 5 rounds in a row to get them up to that 11th first place, and now Mr. Hoy has had enough. He's going to get involved with that opening kill. Ducky responds towards Husky, though, and Mr. Hoy is forced out in the open. got a tag off on Synergy, but it's a 4-on-3, and he's going in for extra utility. Another smoke to utilize and block them off at the half wall.
Yeah, another smoke as well to pretty much use, just to make sure there's nobody pushing up towards this fallen area, making sure nobody pushing up close. WFN has now repositioned himself before being in that long position, now just posting himself up onto this B bomb site. And is it the right call to make a bit of a hero play for Dexter to go towards mid, or is he just going to be baiting out Util, trying to bait out rotation? That looks like what's going to happen, as he's going to fall back towards a Banana, but they're going to be peeking straight into the crosshair of WFN, who finds one onto Emmy. Molotov out as well. It's going to halt the progress even further. Molotov extinguished, a flash coming in as well as a smoke for WFN. A little bit of a crossfire playing here, a bit of a team flash as well, but it's okay. Dexter with the AWP and Mosh with the AK. Do they want to save this here, or do they want to try and wrap their way back to A, where Aatrox is just jiggle peeking it, making sure nobody's maybe going up towards middle. Dexter will post himself up just a bit further back, and they are going to save it.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to harm the economy state for eMasters because of the fact that both these players will not get any money at all, but at the same time, these weapons more valuable in their hands than not. They won't have a buy in the next rounds, and so the Arctic Raptors will be able to get their 13th of free. eMasters now beaten into submission. The Arctic side, 2 free AKs, might even get a third one out as well. Aatrox is a little bit far away from contact. He actually should go for the hunt here. If he gets it towards spawn, will he catch a player off? Keep browsing that minimap. Yeah. That might be interesting. No one goes down. Okay, that could have seriously harmed Moshi, because if he goes out, he's got $0 into this round, but thankfully doesn't happen for the eMasters.
Yeah, no, oh my god, that was very close there from Aatrox. He's getting a very aggressive. You saw on the T side, he was quite aggressive up towards mid, getting a bit aggressive on towards his CT side now as well. No one whatsoever for the eMasters team. A couple of weapons saved over though, the AWP and the AK-47. Of course, you do have the Tech 9 in the hands of Mr. Hoy and Emmy both looking to maybe find something in this. Molotov flying over the head of Mr. Hoy, who is going to get first goal to Zodi, and will actually find a pick with that Tech 9. Now, leaving Synergy all alone as Ducky looks to get a rotation in. WFN and Aatrox will be posted up towards this bomb site as well, which looks like eMasters will try to finish, just getting a lot of rotations in. All 5 players going towards mid won't even want to try to re-clear apartments here due to the fact that it's pretty much impossible for them potentially. They don't have the weapons, they don't have anything to use to force them out apart from a flashbang. They've got 2 smokes as well. It's very, very, very slow. Nobody posted up towards this long position just yet, but they are aware that somebody could be. The smoke for Archers as well is going to show a little bit of presence, and now the steps 2 is going to give even more information. WFN looking towards long, making sure he gets good here, good for 1 at least so far, not losing his life as of yet, and may be able to find some more value in this position. Dexter on the other side of this side, getting a pick with his AWP, and Aatrox falling to that Tech 9 of Emmy. These Tech 9s so far have been extremely deadly. WFN peeking out and spotting. It's now left with a 1 versus 1. As Emmy finds his second. The free fire coming in. Oh my god, so they just 1 HP. No, it's not. There he is, 1 HP. He clutched the round on 1 HP. It wasn't eco. They're cutting it close there.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. One point of health is just a tiny bit cutting it close, but wow. 14-11 for the Arctic Raptors, and that has got to be very impressive, I have to say. How down to the wire that one got. Emmy in particular with that Tech 9, man. If only that Incendiary didn't come through, he wouldn't have been forced out. He might have been able to hold face and stall for even more time, but just the timing perfect from the Arctic Raptors now. Guns are in. AWPs on doubles. Emmy and Dexter bringing out 2 big greens. The final details of the buy being sorted out on the T side. But look at Aatrox. He's taking this chance now. This window with no resistance in mid to gain all sorts of control. Hearing footsteps as well in the banana position. Might hear Moshi as
really
well.
Good timing. Oh my god, it is really good timing. He's behind all of them. Literally all of them have been spotted. No, it doesn't matter that much. Oh, I can't grab a second. No way, Moshi just absolutely 180ing and finding the pick onto Aatrox. All the information that could ever possibly be used is now found by Arctic Raptors, but yet again, Zodi is the one to fall Synergy with a nice little pick there. Oh my god, that spray transfer, perfect, leaving Husky in an impossible situation with 2 points of health, and oh, it's just a dream, it's just a dream.
A dream that will not be realised on this day, I think. This is looking like map and match point for Arctic Raptors. 4 of them to get into the lower bracket consolation match. The lower bracket finals. I don't even know which one it's called at this point.
I'm going to call it the finals.
All right, cool. We'll call it lower bracket finals.
Yeah.
The last game of the lower bracket for the Arctic Raptors here. They have to beat eMasters. One more round of 15-11. Husky, I mean, look, he's going to try his hand at something towards the A site, and despite being at 2 HP, he's not going to do much at all. I mean, the bomb's all the way on the B half of the map, so...
Will you expect Ducky anchoring like this, though, on top of this balcony position? I don't think he will, but he doesn't really need to. He's not going to try and push out too aggressively. Losing this AK could be detrimental. Now, the one thing that I want to see from Ducky here is waiting for this time to run out, and then as soon as it does, just fully rush into apartments and find that pick, because as soon as that happens, Husky, no money at all.
Ducky has no idea he's at that corner, though, so he has no reason to push around it.
Of course it doesn't.
Had he heard a footstep, then Husky would be a dead man walking, and that would have utterly crippled the T side, but he does get away with that AK. eMasters get away with a force buy. At this point, no choice in the matter but to go in hard on the investment, and now onto round 27. Similar story, absolutely needing to take one away from the Arctic Raptors, who are 4 match points away from the lower bracket finals. Into the default we'll go. Let's see what eMasters can do.
Yep, so far quite a bit of utility used there for Arctic Raptors for this deep banana control, which they are going to very slowly but surely take. It will be Synergy and Zodi both grabbing 9. Aatrox posted up in such a weird off angle, but WFN there holding for him. Husky finding the trade, but what cost? No HP, pretty much. And it's WFN posted back up into this pit position. Now going to be holding for the peak. That may occur in towards his short. Synergy on the other side of the map, finding 1. Dexter getting that trade in. And now, oh my god, they've just walked past each other. They have just walked past each other.
The Orb's in trouble. Wickman has no idea how dead he really is. I mean, with a kill on Ducky, oh, he's going to be kicking himself to how he just left his teammate for dead. He didn't even realise it himself. Going to have to wait for backup. Arctic Raptors 2v3, but they have so much cash. They are going to go for this retake and try and win it in a disadvantage. The incendiary on Dexter, forcing him out into the hands of Ducky. Brings it into a 2-on-2 now. Where's Husky? The headshot's been seen now. More utility inbound, flash forward. The headshot seen to the AK. He wins that first. Zodi needs a quick tap. Only a body shot required against the man, but both Husky and Emmy will go in for the peak together to win out the 12th. A survival round for the eMasters.
That was absolutely timing. Timing in Counter-Strike is something to fact. Like, they need to study this or something, because this is incredible. Emmy just walking through the smoke and Ducky walking through the exact same smoke on the exact same time. It's absolutely unlucky. It's so, it's imperfect pretty much. Aatrox finding himself the first to die once again in that round. And a lot of control being gained for eMasters towards this banana. A lot of damage being taken as well in the hands of Emmy and Mr. Hoy. 53 and 58 points of health left remaining for both of those. Make that even lower as the nade comes through. And it's a very passive default being played here by Arctic Raptors. Of course, you have WFN posted up in library with the AWP, whereas, you know, last round they made it maybe a little bit more aggressive up towards apartments. But other than that, it wasn't anything too flashy, anything too big. The nades and Muto going out to maybe try and fake or maybe actually regain this control of Deep Banana, but no, they're just going to walk right out of there. Mr. Hoy going to be entering this site, Mac 10 in hand. Now, will they be walking into the crosshairs of WFN, who hasn't actually held this angle yet because he's playing quite aggressive and found out he's holding the angle. Is he going to go for a re-swing or re-challenge here? Let's take a look now. Yes, he will. The flash is brilliant from his teammate, but Dexter, ooh, just differential. Emmy also finding Ducky. Aatrox now the last player standing, sees the drop from Husky. It's a 2 versus 2. Make that a 2 versus... No, sorry, it wasn't a 2 versus 2, but it is now. Husky, low HP, even lower after that swing. And this is all to play for Arctic Raptors. They bide their time just a little bit. They have not much time left to get this bomb down. Oh, Dexter's been spotted down. Dexter will go down. It's Husky who's left. It's 1v1 and he will prevail even with the 13 HP. Picking up the AWP as well. Grabbing the 3rd kill. Bringing it even closer. Raptors now only 2 rounds left to try and win out this game.
I'll take a pause for it as well, recognising the same thing that you just did. Their chances have been whittled down 2 more rounds to try and close this one in 2-0 fashion. They have the money for another buy. The savings have been dipped into though, so you can see that Aatrox has only got $2,500, only $3,300. So in future, buys like this will not be quite as affordable. And outside of that AWP, it seems like they want to go for a half invest. Okay, it's a long-term strategy, I'll give you that. Not a definitive buy here. I'm not certain what. I mean, I might have been miscommed initially. It's usually a hero automatic weapon rather than an AWP, but within, of course, the AWP of this team, taking it into Arctic Raptors. Maybe they went for the buy and then they said, no, we're going to go half C's after he took the AWP in, or maybe they didn't really think the hero AWP could do well. The hero Deagle could certainly do the same. Synergy with one good frag out towards Banana, falling back out position. It's a 5-on-4 for Arctic.
Jesus Christ, that first pick there from Synergy is absolutely brilliant, I cannot lie. That's just beautiful, isn't it? Swinging out with the Deagle in hand, just getting an absolute clean one-tap onto Mr. Hoy. He's been a standout player, not necessarily in this game, but in games prior to this one. And now, Arctic Raptors are looking maybe to wrap this one up because they do have 4 Deagles, and we've already seen how one of them can play with the Deagle, which was very impressive indeed, but it is match point, and anything they do here could come to a win. Even if it's a hero play that, you know, isn't really accessible in a time where they fall by or have not much money, but even if that's the case at the moment, this B execute will go down. All the smokes, all the molotovs, everything that you could ever need to force Synergy to be out of position. They know he has an AWP now. They're going to have to try and get aggressive here. He's going to be posted to the teammate Synergy, who is going to maybe try and find the swing. WFN finding one there. Heads to swivel, maybe trying to get a no-shot for the ball. Oh no, he's... Oh, there you go. There's one pick there. Has to reload though. The nerf is coming in. He wants the Deagle. He comes to Deagle.
No shot. No shot. He's done it.
God.
Arctic Raptors did it on a half by the 16-13.
What was that?
And a 2-0 to make their way into the lower bracket finals. eMasters will be livid at that one.
Jesus Christ.
It could have been the next round. Really, it should have been the next round in that one, but the Deagles were enough in this case, sire.
That was incredible.
It was.
There. Oh my
It absolutely was. Brilliant stuff from them. And I mean, look, we thought it was going to be a banger for that second map. Inferno certainly did. And look, that was brilliant. That was utterly brilliant from them.
That was WFN. Even demon mode. Oh my god. Finding the first pick onto that site, then turning around, getting a no-scope for the smoke. That AWP nerf definitely coming into play there as well. But nonetheless, picked up the Deagle. No one's able to kill him. And he just finds the last one of the last frags, and then that's where the team comes in and helps him out and saves the day. Brilliant.
Brilliant indeed. Absolutely brilliant there from Arctic Raptors. Our personal underdogs, but the 2-0 series for their favour means that they are in the lower bracket finals of EPIC38. As for eMasters, they're done. They're out.
Yeah, that's it for them.
They're gone, and they will not be able to do much in tomorrow's proceedings with our last 2 games. Of course, it will be Vipero taking on the Arctic Raptors, and we still looked at Vipero that probably would be the favourites in that kind of series,
100%,
right?
Yeah, definitely. No, there's no chance about it, really. They already played Raptors today in the upper brackets, but you know, they got smacked. It was 2-0. Can they do anything about that?
I mean, you never know.
We'll find out.
I'll have to find out tomorrow morning. 9 a.m. GMT is when the lower bracket finals will kick off, and later on in the afternoon we will also have our grand finals of EPIC38 live on the stage here at Epicland. But for tonight, that's it. That's our playoff stage is done for the time being. That is all of our games playing out so far. So have you had fun?
It's been amazing. It's been brilliant. It's been nice having me. Thank you for having me here as well, Epicland.
It's been nice having me.
It's been nice having me here. No, but it has been great. I mean, it's been brilliant. The atmosphere in here is actually insane. It's always been insane, hasn't it? Almost at every land like this, it's been pretty insane. And I'm just happy to be here. Indeed, and we're going to go ahead and enjoy ourselves for the rest of the night for the time being, however. I want to thank so much for watching and for listening on behalf of myself, the Eternal J, my co-commentator Zaya, and all the rest of the commentators, admins, and production staff behind the scenes here. We'll see you back here tomorrow for even more Epicland action. Until then, though, good night and goodbye.